What a world that continues to be divisive, continues to disagree and disagree and disagree. I mean, I'm not saying it's an issue to quote unquote disagree. I mean, there's place for disagreement, but healthy disagreement. And many people just cannot disagree peacefully or disagree respectfully. And when people don't know how to disagree respectfully, peacefully, cordially, then of course people become physically violent and things amp up and get worse and worse and worse. But division is something that has always been part of the world and its societal mechanisms, and wherever you're from, there's some sort of discord somewhere, because we don't know how to handle disagreements well at all. We have emotional imbalances and lack of self-discipline and self-control. But it's very interesting what one of the greatest teacher to ever exist mentioned this, Jesus, about division. He mentioned about if a kingdom is divided against itself, how can it stand? If a house is divided against itself, how can it stand? If Satan is divided against himself, how can he stand? Right? So when you think about why people are divided, think about ideas. Ideas are coming from people, a mind, from somebody that can think, can make decisions, somebody who has feelings and emotions. That's where ideas come from. And you see ideas manifest out in the world, where there's a television, a refrigerator, clothes, an iron board, a carpet, a bike, whatever you see out there, a building, it's all comes from an idea. That somebody concocted or thought about. It came into their mind and they acted it out, and they acted upon it, and it was manifest in the tangible world. It went from the intangible, unseen world of the mind to the tangible world that we see manifest, right? So some of you believe Satan exists, some of you probably don't, right? For those who do believe in Satan existing, who believe that Satan plants ideas, plants suggestions, right? And some people act on it and some don't, right? And if you don't believe in Satan, oh well, that's your choice to believe in him or not. Well, I think we all can agree that ideas from wherever it comes from, whether it's good or evil, it manifests out if we choose to act it out, right? And that's where actions come from. That affect us, whether you rob somebody or not, whether you cheat on your spouse or not, whether you build a business or not, whether you work out or not, whether you want to kill somebody or not, whether you want to bribe somebody or not, whether you want to invent that thing or not, whether you want to vacuum your floor or not. It all comes from what? The mind first. So there's people. So how can Satan, how can unwholesome ideas that he plants and do different ways, how can that divide us, right? It's all about, do you hone in on that idea? So there's people who are divided in their household. There's people who don't agree. Fathers against sons, and daughters against mothers, and spouses against spouses, siblings against siblings. They don't know how to respectfully dialogue, which causes what? Dissension, divorces, conflict, domestic issues in the house, which comes from what? Ideas. Oh, I think this is right. I think this is wrong. I think. So you're getting ideas from culture, getting ideas from what you think is okay, getting ideas from TV, music, you're getting ideas from all over the place, getting ideas from books, all these ideas, and ideas can clash. As the Bible says, how can two walk together lest they be agreed? Oh, come on, if there's no healthy agreement, how can you walk together? You can't. So, and whatever's going on in the house will trickle into the world. Whatever's going on in the house will trickle into the world. But what is to come from? The house of your mind. As the Bible says, your body is a temple. So what's going on in the temple can trickle into your home, and then affect the world as it goes out into the world. So people say, oh, their life is their life. Their life is their life. Well, as long as you're living in a public society, what somebody does, what they believe will affect you. Because they go out there and they share the world, they share their ideas with the world in some way. And whether you talk to the person or not, that person can see you or observe you and decide to adopt what you believe, adopt your idea, whether you want to say it or not. By the way you talk, by the way you walk, by the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, somebody can take that aspect of you, those aspects of you, and incorporate that in their life and take that into their world, which will affect the world, right? Or the regions or the kingdoms. But the question is, what ideas are you allowed into your mind and to stay in your mind? Because you can allow it to germinate in your mind like a plant, or you can uproot it. Oh, come on. That's how foliage grows. It's allowed to grow. It's continuing to be fed with nutrients and healthy soil and the sun and water. It's continually fed, or you can uproot it and stop the growth process. But sadly, many people don't allow the weeds, the weeded idea, the weeds, or which are poisonous ideas, to be uprooted. They allow it to germinate until it causes havoc in the world. But it all starts with that unseen idea that is allowed to germinate and to choke out what is good out there in the world. That's where it starts from. So, for those who are facing division, evidently, as a Christian, I don't think until Christ returns, this world will ever be at peace, stable. How long have we been existing for? Thousands of years? Some say millions of years. Whatever it is, right? We've been here for a long time, and I would think by now, if we didn't need God or forget God, we got this. I would think surely by now we would have. It'll be harmony by now, peace by now, stability by now. But for some reason, we're not getting it right. Why? Unwholesome, unhealthy ideas that we continue to hold on to, right? And it's different factors of why we hold on to these ideas, or why we even get these ideas from the first place. But evidently, there is a battle between good and evil. As a Christian, I believe ultimately God is source behind all good, and Satan is source behind all evil. You may disagree, but I think you can all agree that there is a battle here seen between good and evil, light and dark, truth and lies. Right? And you're going to see the evidence of that out there in the world, that there is a battle. There's an inner battle that we all face that somehow goes out into the world. So be mindful of your ideas, whether in your marriage, your relationships, your emotions, your business, your health. Be mindful of the ideas. Is this idea I'm holding on to healthy? Is this idea that I'm holding on to about how I should act in life, operate in life, is it healthy, or is it causing unnecessary division? Now, if there has to be division, there should be division for the right reason. I'm not going to unite with something that is obviously not true or not right, or it's causing chaos. So I'm not going to unite with something because for the sake of unity. I want to unite with something for the sake of what is right, what is true, what is bringing unity, what is bringing betterment to the world. So anything that you're exposed to, I don't care where it's from, challenge it. I'm a Christian. I challenged it. I ask questions. Anything, whether it's from a book, whether it's from a person, whoever, from all walks of life, challenge it. As the Bible says, test all things, all things, if it be true. Test it. Don't just hold on to it because someone told you. Test it for yourself. Be a spiritual scientist. All right? God bless you. I love you. And think about your ideas. Challenge the idea that you allow into your brain, because it will affect your home. It'll affect the world. I love you. Be blessed.